Good morning. Welcome to Unity, the warm, loving spirit of unity. And thank you, Woody, for setting us up. And the whole group here. The music sounds marvelous. Thank you. Well, you've got a great day ahead of you. It is well planned. Great messages are coming, great music, even more great music. And first of all, however, I light the candle here. I light the candle to remind us that we are the light of the world. The light of the world means we are the light of love. This is our true nature. We are the light of wisdom, the light of joy. This is who we are. Let us affirm this together by saying we are the light of the world. Together, we are the light of the world. Thank you. And I sound the chime here to affirm the fact that we are in harmony. Our higher being in particular is in harmony with the source of who we are, all that we are, why we're here, what we have to do, what we have to learn, and how we're proceeding and how we can make this day one of those important days that take us further on the road, the path on the spiritual road. The daily word for today is heart expression. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. Sharing love is a wonderful way of discovering and responding to the divinity within. In every heart binding us as a human family, it brings us together. My loving nature helps me see the best in every person whose life touches mine. Today, I remember one of the legends of St. Valentine, in which he fashioned pieces of parchment into hearts, which he gave to others as tokens of compassion and God's love. Today, the tradition continues when I say, you are dear to me, I hold you in my heart, with a card, a gift, a call, or some other simple act of kindness. I share love with no expectation of reciprocation. And my heart welcomes every expression of love from others. Love's energy grows both in giving and receiving. And from the book of John, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also love one another. Great message, great way to start the day. A few days ago, I had a little more time before the end of the day. I was about to go out and have dinner with a few friends. My day ended a little early, so I sat down and relaxed a little, reflected a little. At the end of the day, I'm a little tired. Body's ready for a little renewal. And after a few minutes, got up, relaxed, renewed a bit. And then I thought, oh no, I missed a lunch with a friend a few days ago. So embarrassing. There it was. It came back. Wasn't gone. So I called him right away. And we chatted, and I said, oh my God, I'm sorry, I missed it, I didn't show up. And he said, oh, forget it. You're very busy, I'm very busy, we'll do it again sometime. I said, okay, how about next Wednesday? He said, fine, glad to. So we set it up, and then I thought, wonder if this is a good time to share a little extra time with the fellow who works with me, my coworker. And so I thought, oh, well, we share a lot of office chatting, but not that much enjoyment of what else is going on. And so I went up to him and said, ooh, how about lunch soon, tomorrow? He said, great, I would love that. And so we had a great time. And so in reflection, of course, to me, this is the spirit of Valentine's Day. Solve problems and build bridges. That's what we're about. I think we have these special days to remind us what we should be doing every day. And we highlight them so we don't forget, so we remember. So I hope this is a day of solving problems and building bridges for you. Happy Valentine's Day.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. Inside of me, the greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. That special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place. Find your strength in
Oh, Sharon, woo, and Woody, and Randy, and Renee, thank you so much. Oof. Yeah, well, I thought I had it kind of together before I heard that. Anyway, oh my gosh. It makes you vibrate differently when you hear the truth, and especially sung. So that was remarkable, really. You know, love is such an interesting topic because it forces you to be vulnerable. It forces you to be vulnerable. It really does. I mean, that's the whole thing of love, is opening your heart, and as Jim said so beautifully, without expecting anything. You know, because that's not what love is. And I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. It's a really wonderful day where people will call it the Day of Love, but like I said, it's a life of love. It's really, you know, we talk about it today, maybe more than other days, but love is who we are. It is interesting in life, especially on the spiritual path, that we go looking for the thing that we already have. You know, it is this, you know, sort of grasping outside of ourselves for what is very organically already within us. So that's what we get to learn here at Unity, and certainly on idea of, we may feel very human-like in our experience of being alive, but it's really about the spiritual awakening in all of us. I'm so grateful to have all the love bugs here in the sanctuary today, you know. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being outside. And it's, you know, really, remember here's the church, here's the steeple, open it up, and there's all the people. Clearly I'm older. But the idea of, you know, you know, any spiritual community is about the people. So I'm so glad to see you all here, and many of you online. So the greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. It's a lifelong lesson. And if you remember, this song, interestingly enough, was written in 1976 by Michael Mazer, and it was for the movie The Greatest, and it was about Muhammad Ali. And the gentleman that wrote it left a law degree, left a law practice to write music, because he always wanted to write music. And what does he say? He says that, let's see, oh, heavens to Betsy, I was going to read. He said, people thought I was crazy. I had to starve. I had no money. My marriage broke up, but I had to do what I wanted to do since I was 6, write music. And so the idea of the greatest love of all is becoming best friends with that knowledge within you, with that passion within you. And it can be very uncomfortable and very much about not being what the world wants you to be, but to really acknowledge who you are and to love who you are. And it was written about Muhammad Ali originally. And the gentleman that wrote it, Michael Mazer, said, he said, there was a man who wanted to change his name and his religion. That's all. Ali hadn't believed in the war in Vietnam and had refused to fight it. He won that battle through the legal system. Still, he lost everything, including his title. But Ali retained the most important thing of all, his dignity. It's fascinating to recognize that loving ourselves and truly living the greatest love of all forces us to see the things that don't really define us, like titles and fame and all of those things that we think sometimes we want to achieve. It really is almost the loosening of that, the letting go of it, to understand this love that is unconditional, the truth that sets us free. So this talk today we're going to talk about the natural way of loving. Some of our greatest teachers are the children. Yeah, and then we're going to talk about this very funky thing we can get into with love is sort of, I need you to change for me to love you. Anybody ever tried that? Yeah, I have, and I have been unsuccessful 100% of the time. Yeah, so we're going to look at that, and then I want to give you a story that is a remarkable experience of, as Jesus said, to not hate our enemies, but love our enemies, and look at the awakening that comes in that space. You know, I want to acknowledge Whitney Houston. Well, first of all, Sharon, I want to acknowledge you. The way you sang that was so beautiful. But Whitney Houston, who was the second person, George Benson sang it first, and then Whitney Houston. And I just watched a biography of Whitney Houston this week. And, you know, the woman was gorgeous. Her voice was extraordinary. She had all the riches, you know, tremendous success. But Whitney Houston had very little joy in her life because she didn't know the greatest love of all. She didn't have that information. She wasn't taught that information. And because she became famous, she wasn't loved for, she didn't know she was being loved for herself. She really was loved for, and everybody wanted a piece of her and for her to make money for them. And of course, at the end, a very tragic death. And she becomes one of our greatest teachers, because as I'm watching her in this biography, I'm thinking, how could she be unhappy? I mean, look at her and listen to her. How could she be unhappy? And so it reminds me all the time of, it isn't about the performance of who you are, it's who you are. And it's a practice every moment to say, I am love. We could say that together. I am love. And let's say it again. I am love. And one more time, 3 times. I am love. You may not see that on a greeting card, the self-love section of the Valentines. It's always about everybody else, right? And so it's a very different way, but the true way of living. You know, I am amazed all the time that I can't let anyone treat me better than how I treat myself. I'm never a big fan of that statement, but it's really true. That, you know, as we learn to see our value and who we are in the world, that's when people come up and want to love us, we can acknowledge that that's true. You know, but if we spend a life sort of in a performance, people will love you and you'll push them away because you'll say, oh, if you only knew who I really was. But since we know we're loved, we carry on. So the children are our greatest teachers. You know, I've seen lots of babies in my life, and I've never seen a baby that had an issue with another baby or had an issue with anything, right? Oh, their diapers are cuter. I like their hair better. You know, on and on. It doesn't happen like that because we're born in this essence of love. And, you know, that's why when I see a crib or a little stroller or something, before COVID, certainly, I'd always go over and just look in the stroller if, you know, the parents would allow me to do that instead of some strange woman coming over. But I love it because babies just exude love. You know, they just have that sense of, isn't life great? And it's fascinating to be in the presence of love in that way. So I have some quotes from some children, keeping this light at the beginning. So Glenn, age 7, says, if falling in love is anything like learning how to spell, I don't want to do it. It takes too long. Emmanuel, age 8, says, I think you're supposed to get shot with an arrow or something, but the rest of it isn't supposed to be so painful. And May, age 9, says, no one is sure why it happens, but I've heard it has something to do with how you smell. That's why perfume and deodorant are so popular. And Tom, age 5, once I'm done with kindergarten, I'm going to find me a wife. 10, on the first date, this is Mike, age 10, on the first date, you just tell each other lies, and it usually gets you interested enough to go on a second date. Poor Mike, he's going to have to unlearn some things. And Andrew, age 6, one of the people has freckles, so he finds another person that has freckles too. So again, I am love forces you to be in that childlike wonder of who you are. All right, so I found a little quick film of kids talking about love, so you could reflect on that childhood, that child that is in you, as we show this quick film.
I think love is care and listening. First starts off as with a feeling, and then it goes to the interactive emotion. I really don't know. I love my dog because she got hit by a car, and now she's at our house. She just came back from the hospital yesterday, so yeah. Love means I love my brother, I love my family. I mostly love my bike. Valentine's Day is basically the day of love. We celebrate Valentine's Day because it shows how we care about people. I love my basement. It's not my favorite season, but I kind of like it since It's God. Wait, is it God's birthday? There was a person called Valentine's Day, and he was killed on February 14th, and that's why it is called Valentine's Day. And I'm kind of ready for the next question now. I also think love is an act. I think it also is like a feeling, and it's when two people start to become friends and then they want to marry each other. Love is basically about I'm bored. And I really like Valentine's Day. It's my favorite holiday. I'm done now. And that's what Valentine's is all about.
Yes. You can see the sweet, and then all of a sudden, can we have the next question, please? I'm bored, right? Because it's very hard to describe love, because it is an act, as one of them said. You know, there's a great song that's called Love is a Verb. It's something you do. It's not just a word that happens to you. Get on your mark, get set. You might get hurt. It's a rush, it's a rhyme, it's love, and love is a verb. So it really is an action that is love. I don't know if many of you know the story of St. Valentine, but it's really a profound story. And St. Valentine was not making greeting cards, and he was not in the chocolate business. He was a saint, and at the time, he was a priest and a doctor. Is the story. This was the 1st century AD, 270 was the year. And there was a war going on. This is, I think there's still some wars going on, but there was a war going on, and Emperor Claudius decided to ban weddings. He didn't want any of the men getting married, because once the men got married, they didn't want to go to war. You know, once you choose love, war isn't so interesting to you anymore. So he banned weddings. You know, that's really the answer, right? But St. Valentine decided to perform weddings in secret, because this is his mission. You know, he is love. He can't not do what he's born to do. And he was found out, and he was arrested, and he was put in jail. And when he was in jail, the jailer's daughter was blind. And so he, continued to connect as love does, and supposedly he healed her of her blindness. And on the day that he was to be executed, which was February 14th, he wrote a letter to her, and it said, "From your Valentine," to tell her how much that she had meant to him. So you're not going to see that at the CVS in the Valentine card section. St. Valentine, died for love. So we have a lot to learn and unlearn around love. I don't think the divorce rate has gone down. It tends to go up, because what happens to us in love, after we have this kind of childlike experience, we have ups and downs, and we see people, maybe our parents, maybe people in our communities that are not loving unconditionally, or are fighting and having the idea that maybe you were told this, I'll love you if you do this, and you are good if you act like this. And so we have a story of love being not unconditional, but very conditional. And today seems to be video day, but I wanted to bring in another funny, because animals even do this at times. And so I wanted to show you a little cat and a little dog, and I'd like you to reflect on how you may act sometime when people aren't acting exactly like you'd like them to act. Sorry, I just couldn't not show that. So here the dog is not acting like the cat wants it to act. If the cat's like, yeah. So it's an example of how we do, right? There's this world of I am love, and then someone acts in a way, whether it's cutting you off in traffic, or saying something unkind, or politician, or whatever it is that gets us out of the I am love. And it's very painful, and it really, that's why we come together to hear the greatest love of all, is something inside of me, and I'd like to use Khalil Gibran to talk about this. I've used this reading in a lot of weddings, and here's just a portion. He says that love is, even as love will crown you and bless you, it shall also crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, he's also for your pruning. And he's using the word love as the word love. I'm not sure what that's all about, but anyway, he's a poet from a long time ago. But pruning, you gardeners out there know about pruning. When I see people prune things, I think, oh, you just killed the plant. What happened, right? You cut off all the stuff that was growing on it. But what is pruning? Pruning is taking everything, if you look at the definition, it's taking everything that's superfluous. It's taking everything that it's not part of the new growth. And you cut it off for new things to grow. Have you said that to people in your life? Oh, thank you for that pruning. I really appreciate that. Glad you came into my life to help me let go of what I didn't know I need to let go of, right? And so it is an opportunity. That's why love, and we have some long-term people that have been married a long time here today. And I know that you grow in these relationships. You know, it isn't like we're going to get married and then that's it, right? We grow. We are pruned by love in life. And it's fascinating to see that as the way that love is and the way that love works. What did Jesus say about love? He said, you have heard it said to love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you that you need to love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. It's a big deal. You know, we want to say we are carrying Christ consciousness. And are we loving our enemies? What would we even call an enemy? Right? Because in the olden way, in the way before, the Christ consciousness, before Jesus came to teach, it was an eye for an eye. And God being an angry God. And then Jesus came to say, the light of the world is in you. The kingdom of heaven's in you. I know it might be hard to understand because you've been all about me versus you and an eye for an eye, but it's not true. And it's not true because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when I'm having a story about how you have disrupted my life. So love your enemies. Love your enemies. And an enemy is anything that you're seeing is against you. So I wanted to show a film that is one of the most profound stories that I've heard in a man learning to love his enemy and the love that was broken open as he was able to look at where he was stuck in his life. It's about 5 minutes, and I invite you to be with it. I'd like you to reflect also on maybe anything that's tight in your heart, a place in your life where you may see something as an enemy. So here we go.
Filmmaker and contributor Josh Seftel has spent the past 2 years at work on an Emmy-nominated online series called The Secret Life of Muslims. The remarkable way just one of those lives turned around is the story he has for us this morning. Given the recent attacks in New Zealand, we think it's timely and provocative.
As a filmmaker who happens to be Jewish, I've always wanted to understand why people hate, whether it's Christians, Jews, or Muslims. I hope this story will help you understand a bit more about the origins of hate and maybe offer a touch of hope, even in the wake of tragedy.
I get a knock at the door and hear 2 guys in a suit. I'm from the FBI. The first thing I have to say is, what took you guys so long? I told them the truth. I was going to make my own IED, and I was going to set across the Islamic Center over in a bank's parking lot, and I was going to dial it in and just watch the show. Growing up, I saw a movie, and it was Rambo. Rambo was tough, respected. He had intestinal fortitude. I said, that's what I want to do. I went off and joined the Marine Corps. I wanted the action. The first time I got shot at, I remember looking at my watch and I says, man, this time last year I was in English class. I fought several times in the Middle East, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, South America, Philippines, Somalia. I think the worst things that I have seen is dead children. I had to suck it up. I had to be there for my guys. Each one of those teardrops stands for a confirmed kill. I stopped adding after 26. Where I was taught, Marine Corps, just own it and then let it go. But there comes a time when there's too much of that and you can't turn it off anymore.
I want you to give me a window into your state of mind at that time.
One time, my wife and I went to a DSW, and I saw in the distance these two women in black burqas in my store. I cried as I prayed for enough strength to go over there and break both their necks. I was just angry. I was just full of hate, and it just fed off itself. At that point, I was drinking a half-gallon of vodka every 2 days. I had devised a plan, create my own IED, homemade bomb, and I was going to set it off right outside the Muncie Islamic Center. 200 plus killed or injured. That was the plan. I saw an opportunity to do one last thing for my country. This was my rationale. I knew I would end up in a federal prison with a needle in my arm. I didn't care. My hatred of Islam, it was the only thing that was keeping me alive. So one day my daughter comes home, second grade maybe. She was telling me about this little boy who sat across from her. His mom came to get him. She said she had scarves on her and she had a dress all the way down to her feet and you couldn't see her on nothing but her eyeballs. At that point I snapped, started spewing things out of my mouth that should never be said in front of children or anything. She didn't say anything. It was the look on her face. I remember my daughter looking at me like I was absolutely the craziest person on the face of the earth. She was my little buddy. Yeah, she used to say we were road dogs. I know, I saw it in her eyes. I made her question that love. And that's when a light bulb came on. I decided to give the people of this community one more chance. So I went to the Islamic Center. See a gentleman in the shoe room taking off his shoes. He looks at me and he smiles. He said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I want you to teach me about Islam." So he went and he gave me a Quran. Read this. Come back when you have questions. So I did. And I would see things in the book. I'd be like, there it is. I got them right there. Explain that to me. And they would. This was a kind of awakening. Long story short, 8 weeks after that first day I stepped into the Islamic Center, I became a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, a veteran, and a proud American. I had learned that I was completely wrong about everything that I felt. You know, Judaism had a message, Christianity had a message, Islam had a message. Funny thing is, though, it was the same message. It was about peace, and it was about love.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. McKinney.
My big thing is now to stop the hate.
Nothing good has ever come out of hatred.
I've done too many things. I've hurt a lot of people. I have to live with that. But if I can stop somebody else on the path of non-forgiveness, I won.
Yeah, right. So we hold that open space in our hearts as we say, I am love. Let us say that together. I am love. Yeah. We see what the resistance felt like for this gentleman when they said, how did you feel? What was your state of mind? And he said, I was so angry and wants to kill other people. That's the place where we can be if we don't acknowledge the love that we are. He saw he was in a way of killing other people. And so what happened was the belief in him that he was loved died. And we can see, like when we're talking about this gentleman or Whitney or any moment that we see ourselves as the world is against me, we can't be the love that we are. And his story to me is so profound because, again, what was it that awakened him? His child. That's what awakens us. That's the piece where we start to listen. There's more to me than this. There's more to me than this sort of fight against life, this exhaustion that we can live in, this pretending that we need to be something other than just who we are. And so I invite us to all be led today by St. Valentine, the teaching of Whitney Houston, the song, The Greatest Love of All, and to resonate and to resurrect that love that's within us that's so much bigger than whatever's going on in your life. And know that we'll always have the support we need, and also notice that exactly what he needed to show up, showed up. And it's fascinating to me to watch this divine order of life, that we're not stuck, ever. That's why we come to places like Unity, to get unstuck, to have a new thought, to start to recognize I am in a story of something's against me, something shouldn't be happening the way it is, rather than what is it, how can I see better? How can I illuminate the world? John Lennon, can we go to John's quote? John Lennon says, "We need to learn to love ourselves first in all our glory and imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others and our potential to create. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life." And that's who we are here. That's what this community is about, and that's what we are radiating every week, hopefully every day. If you see this gentleman, and this is something else I loved, he said, I'm studying the Muslim faith. I've looked at Judaism, looked at Christianity, and it's all the same message, right? It's all the same message. It's be the love that you are, know that I am love, and recognize this greatest love of all. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And so it is. Yeah. And so let us be, you all. I know you're clapping for love, right? Clapping for yourself. Clapping for how you may be healing in this moment. Clapping for a place where there may be some sadness around when you consider Valentine's Day, that I wish I was receiving something. But the point is, you've already been given everything you need. And that's the difference of living in this consciousness of truth. So let's close our eyes for a moment and let's be in the love that we are. Our daily word had a beautiful affirmation. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. So let us practice this affirmation and this way of thinking. I'd like you to think about someone that's very easy for you to love. Someone that's in your life, you feel safe with them, you feel loved by them. And let us send this affirmation to them. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. And feel the fullness of that truth and knowingness of love. Then I'd like you to reflect on someone that is a neutral person in your life. Someone you may see on a regular basis, maybe a person working at your grocery store, or the grocery store you go to, or maybe someone here you really haven't met, but you just see often, and you just have a neutral feeling. And to that person, let us say, you are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. And then for this exercise of your pruning, I'd like you to reflect on a person or a situation that feels difficult. That there's some tightness in you when you think about it, or maybe sadness. And silently let's send them this affirmation, this prayer. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. And allow that shift to happen. Allow the I am loveness of you to be bigger than any challenge or aversion. And finally, before we go into our time of silence, I'd like you to think of yourself as a child. That openness and that wonder. And to that sweet, love-filled child, I'd like you to say silently, you are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. So let us be in the silence with this wide array of love, but to recognize you are the love. So it's easy to have this kind of an exercise. I am love. I am love. I am love. I commit, I make a decision to love. To live from the part of me that is curious and expansive, is leaning into all of my life experiences, is inspired by stories that we can see how people have grown beyond very stuck places, and I know that I am one with all people. We follow Jesus' teaching of loving our enemies so we can know heaven on earth. And we start to recognize as time goes by that we don't have any enemies. We just have a lot of stories. And the stories came and the stories can go. So thank you, Spirit, for this anchoring of the truth of love that sets us free. We honor everyone in their love consciousness and allow them to make that decision one moment at a time to be the love that we are. Amen. So we allow ourselves to feel lighter and perhaps more profound when we talk about love. And so we're at the time of our service where we're embracing our generosity and looking at giving back from where we have received. And the whole point is we've received in so many places, we receive love everywhere. And one of the places that I hope you are feeling like you've received is here at Unity of Santa Barbara. That's why we keep showing up every week, because we feel that connection here. So we're going to affirm our prosperity statement, knowing that we are a vibrant center and that we receive and we give. And then we're going to have our offering. It's going to be a little different today. We have our usher and usherettes have butterfly nets. You guys might want to come on up, and they're going to be. So if you don't have to find, if you can't find the box, you can use the butterfly net. We're jumping into spring here. So our affirmation, let us say this together. I think it's put into parts there. Okay, here we go. We are grateful for the abundant prosperity that continuously supports our vibrant spiritual center, and for the love-filled blessings that we joyfully share with the world. So to let you know, you can give in many ways. If you're online, you can decrease your screen there, and there's a donate button. You are welcome to go to Santa Barbara Unity at any time, santabarbaraunity.org. There's a donate button. And that there, of course, people write checks. You can mail in checks, of course. And then we have a donate on our Facebook. So again, just know that you are part of the law of circulation. And we give from that place of fullness and of love. And so let's bless this one of many channels of good. I love saying that. This is one of many channels of good from which you're giving. And so let us say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I share. And we'll join Sharon in singing, I am so blessed. And if you catch a butterfly, that's good too.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Sing along with me. Lyrics are up. Love is my decision. up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Wow. Thank you, Sharon. Oh my gosh, you're so fun. Yes, and thank you all for getting up. I got to tell you, love just gets you moving, doesn't it? So thank you. God, it was fun to see everybody waltzing away there by yourselves, no less. All right. Oh, my heavens. Okay, so let me tell you, one of the things where I'm going to teach, you all are going to be in this with me. Oh, for heaven's sakes, masks and microphones. I'm just going to be like, let it be right there. That's attractive. Okay, so here we go. It just don't matter. All right, so I want to tell you, we are starting a course that I want everybody to be in because it is about learning how to live in prosperity, learning how to live like we talk about I am love, I am prosperity. And this is a course, I don't know who has taken this before, but it's called Keys to the Kingdom. Anybody taken it before? It's profound. And I've been taking it so long, or I've been teaching it for so long. When I first started teaching this class, we had cassettes. CASSETTES, if you've ever heard of a cassette. So it is, and every time I'm in this journey, I remember my freedom. I remember my abundance. I see how I am still sort of choosing lack and choosing misery and choosing worry. And it's like, oh my gosh, let's get over this and let's live the life we're supposed to live. So I wanted to just read something, one of the many testimonials from a lady that actually met a guy in the Keys class that she married. Yes, sirree. So watch out when you come to this class, you know what's going to happen. Anyway, so it says, thanks, Heidi. We love you as well. This is both of them now. Thanks for being such an important, positive influence in my life. I met you at my lowest of lows when we looked at all the areas for the vision boards in the Keys class. I remember thinking that I used to be up in all those areas, spiritual, physical, occupation, social, emotional, etc. I felt wiped out and alone, and I knew that more difficulty was in front of me in terms of making it all better again. Being in the middle of a surprising and dramatic divorce, being on my own as an adult for the first time in my life, and very far away from my family, I was realizing that I needed to change my career too. It was all at once. It felt so tough. It ended up also being exciting and good for me. I learned to hear my own voice, to trust myself, to know I can make it on my own, to laugh in my own company, to really know that I am my own best friend. And I'm a very good best friend to have. I love that line. Your ministry, your counseling, and just being you helped me to hold on to my positivity and sense of hope. I appreciate the inspiration you are in my life and the lives of many others. Oh, well, of course. Anyway, so it goes on. I am pretty sure I took the Keys class at least 4 times in a row. And I knew I wanted a new relationship, but I didn't want to be in a bounce relationship. But meeting Ben was wonderful and inspiring. Knowing I'd found love inspired me to seek love in the expression of my career. For the past 5 years, I've been serving adults who struggle in reading. And this past year, I became a coordinator for the reading department of MCC Longview. It's in Missouri. Usually people are around for 5 years before taking such a position. I was moved up after 3 years. So now Ben and I are starting a family together. We will both be 40 this year. Life begins anew. We are home on the couch singing and smiling and thinking about how far we have come. So this is one of the folks that took the Keys class, but you can hear that what was already in her came forth. And we're going to use this as our Lenten series. I'm calling it Resurrect Your Consciousness. So what you need is a workbook, and they have audio files now. You can get CDs, but there's audio files, so it's $45. You can keep these materials forever. I still have some of my workbook. And it's going to be Zoom for right now. If we keep doing this, we'll have some in person. But I just invite you, as David Owen Ritz, who's the person you'll listen to each week on audio, he says, suspend your disbelief for 7 weeks. You can have it back if you want after 7 weeks, but this is so much what we're doing as a community, is building this consciousness for this next period post-COVID. So I invite everybody to come into this class. All right, today is Valentine's. We're having some wonderful services outside. If you want to renew vows, we have a wedding at about 4:30. But anyway, it's Valentine's Day. We're out here. Happy Valentine's. Let us see. What is up here? I will be right on track with all of this. Okay, Ash Wednesday is this coming Wednesday. So party hardy on Tuesday, because it's Fat Tuesday. And then Ash Wednesday, you can still party hardy, because it's going to be about releasing that doesn't fit anymore. You know, in the olden days, we'd give up things in whatever maybe traditional faith you had. This is really looking at, again, where are these blocks and what would you like, what's in the way of the next version of you. So that's on 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. I have Chloe's picture there because we're going to have sound bowls and we'll be doing some vibrational shifts. 6 o'clock on Zoom. I am also going to Bali in July, and you're welcome to join me and Dr. Chris Michaels the July 11th through the 21st. You go to chrismichaels.net to see the itinerary, and we can talk about that. Our annual meeting is going to be on March the 7th. You'll be getting some information about that. We really want, if you are a member and it's been over 2 years, you want to re-sign up. But there are new members that are coming in, and we have a membership class on Monday night, so you can talk to me about that. Prayer ministry, so valuable. You can email prayer@santabarbaraunity.org, or you can call this number. Then we have a prayer team. So let me tell you about our flowers this Sunday. They've been put together. I don't actually know who actually put them together. That I should know that. But anyway, we are celebrating John and Barbara. Y'all want to come up here? It's going to be their anniversary tomorrow. 27 years, something like this. All right, so let us give them a hand. All right, oh, look at this. It looks like you're getting married all over again. All right. Yay. I know. Here, thank you, Woody. Aren't they beautiful? Do you want to come up and just wave to the online folks? Or you can even turn around right there because you're on camera, see? I know, yay! All right. Thank you all. You can tell us about your pruning later. Yes. All right. So anyway, what a beautiful, and these flowers. Do you know you can dedicate to anything, anyone you want to celebrate? We're so happy for you too. Oh, they were put together by Catherine Davis. Thank you, Catherine, and very, very wonderful. Okay, we have a birthday today. It's Allison Jordan's birthday, and I got a picture of her with her dog Duke. Happy birthday, Allison! Valentine's Day. She's our board president. She puts so much love into this place and into what she does. Do we have the picture of Allison up there somewhere? So let's see what's going on. Anyway, you'll get it in just a minute. There we go! Yay, Allison and Duke. All right. So we're going over a little bit because with our board, at our annual meeting, we have nominees to come onto our board. Some of the board members are re-upping for another couple of years. There's a fun, joyful commitment. That's all about love. So Clyde Blair is going to tell us a little bit about himself and why he wants to be on this board and the great gifts he brings to this community. So let us welcome Clyde. All right. Thank you, Clyde. You're into the pruning, aren't you? That's it. Okay.
Thanks. Hey, everybody. So, people in the audience again. Feels like we are moving forward, and I'm really excited about that. I've been on the board for a couple of years. I first came on when we were transitioning from Larry stepping down. And haven't we come a long way since then, you know? And I think it is worthy of applauding all the things that we've gone through in order to get to this place where we have our wonderful Reverend Heidi right now.
All right, well, thank you.
So I just really enjoy being on the board. I enjoy serving in whatever capacity is needed. I've been on the social team, and my dream was to have a really cool party, and we did that last year with the soiree, or I guess that would be 2019. Yeah. But we're going to do it again. Yes. You know, we have plans in the making, and we've been working together as a board to prepare for expansion, and it's happening. And I'm just so grateful to be made use of. I'm a psychotherapist in my private practice, in my working world, and so I bring communication and empathy and unity. That's what it's all about for me. The love that was shown to me. How could I say no to serving, you all? So just really appreciate the opportunity and the gift it is to give back in this small way. Thank you so much.
Hey, Clyde.
Clyde, I know what it's like to commit yourself to a 2-week project, and appreciate your willingness to stand up and step into it all. It's the example that we all need to hear. We love what we're doing, what we stand for, and it takes each of us to commit ourselves in some way or another in the best way we can. Thank you very much, Reverend Heidi, for a great meditation, for a great lesson. Love is for pruning and patience and progress on the spiritual path, loving self, loving the soul of self and the soul of each of those we meet. And thank you, Sharon. The choir sings that song, Love is My Decision, but I never heard it quite so moving as you did it for us. Thank you. So now this is the time for us all to stand and sing our peace song. Yes, well, I was going to do that, but I will do that right now. The AV people, the ushers, the volunteers that help put this together, it's really quite a team. Thank you all very much. And let us stand and sing our song, the peace song. Prayer of protection, let us say it together. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you again to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Another day for loving.
close friend. But then you came and it soon departed, and you know it never showed its face.